What is going on? I want to thank you for coming to Vape with a Viking. So today, I do have a product that was brought to you by VaperzCloud. Brian and his team actually sent me this device for the purpose of this review, and glad to do it. I am a VaperzCloud fanboy, but if you've been watching VaperzCloud, probably for the last 6 months or so, they are starting to crank out some really good quality products. Like the Saga mod we'll go over. But the Asgards, I'm a big fan of the Mini 25, the 30 mil full size Asgard. Of course, the plethora of colors those guys come in. And then, of course, they did the Odin with Davpo, and Vaping Bogan just was released at this last expo. And then, of course, they have the Hammer of Gods Stabwood collection. And then, the Stormbreaker triple parallel 21700. So, of course, they had to come back to their roots, like the old VCP, which was a series mod. And that's what they did here. It's a dual 21700 series mod. Just super, super comfy and just really clean looking. So, and again, that is the Saga with the 30 millimeter Asgard that's in there. Got a couple coils, series aliens from VaperzCloud. So shout out to VaperzCloud. You put in Viking in his site, 10% off the entire site. So doing really, really well on this. And the juice that I'm running in it today is with the new logo over here, thanks to Richard. He's a part of the Vape Team Asylum, but also a captain for the Nameless Modco in the UK, which was a guest on the Rising Vapor show. So if you haven't seen that, go back on the Springs channel, take a look at it. Had some really good advocacy stuff going on with that. So, and we'll get into advocacy here in just a sec. But lobotomy is what I'm running in it right now. And that's one of the 5 new flavors by Darkstar for Vape Asylum. So really cool to be a part of a team with also their own juice line as well. So it's pretty awesome. It's not quite steeped properly yet. It's not until Monday. And I release my stuff on the weekends. So I probably recorded this on a Saturday or a Friday or something like that. So it's only got about 4 days on it, but I'm already starting to use it on everything. So, but it's a lemon fizzy sherbet. So I can't wait till it gets to full steep because it's already good. It's just going to be amazing. So before we get down into the Saga, show you the ins and outs. It'll be really quick because it is just, it's kind of a simple mod, but we'll do all that, come back up as usual, talk about it, talk about the juice, good stuff like that. But Vikings Advocacy Minute, yes, happens every single time. Get over it. So, social media right now. The nice thing with kind of being under attack here in the States is no matter what social media you go to, you're going to find advocacy stuff. It is rampant. It is everywhere, which is a good thing. We cannot use that excuse anymore. If I didn't know they were doing this, I didn't know they were doing that. But we have a lot of flavor bans going on, but now we're also having a lot of flavor bans put on hold, which is a good thing, showing that we're not only having traction in fighting these politicians, but we're also getting other people involved, more influential people than just an everyday vapor. But said it several times on the show with Spring and Subaru and Circumcised. Can't believe I said that name out loud. But anyway, we're never going to get to a point where it's like, okay, we're good. Everybody can chill out. No, we really can't. So I want to thank everybody that has pushed, and I want to thank people that will push on or haven't pushed and are going to here real soon. We give a lot of grief to people that don't do any kind of advocacy or do not get involved. And I want to be one of the first people to say, you know what? It is okay. It's your prerogative. But can you please, please, please help us out, because it'll affect you as well. So, but thank you for vaping. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for standing up for what is right. So anyway, off of that there, let's get back to what we're here for, which is VaperzCloud series goodness here. So I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah, I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and drop the hammer on the Saga. So what I got for you today is Saga mod by VaperzCloud.
So on the back, you'll have their normal warnings as usual. So you'll get in the box, of course, the spares bag that will have another door contact, O-ring, all the normal accessories you'll get with a mod from VaperzCloud. If you own one, you should definitely know, but even little door springs here and all the screws you would ever need. And also there's even, there we go, some switch springs in there as well. But the mod itself is going to look like this. Of course, this is the black. They have black and war-torn graphite. So across the top, you'll have the adjustable 510. So this is adjustable. It is not spring-loaded, so you do have to manually turn it in and out to match your RDA's 510 length. And then you'll have that O-ring up top, and that does a couple things. One, prevents your atomizers from scratching the top, but two, if you do happen to get some leakage, it's going to be hopefully blocked by this 510. This same that they have on their Hammer of God, their Stormbreaker. Really great idea. I don't have any scratches on any of those mods, and I use them all the time, and I've never had juice get down to the 510. So it definitely works. Then you have your button here, just like the Hammer of God, just a little bit of a texture round button with a really nice throw to it. And then you'll have Saga there at the bottom, very clean, very minimalistic. And then the door switch is right here. So you'll of course have your serial number at the bottom, and I got 220. And then there is your switch or release, and your contacts right there. So if you wanted just to replace the contacts that you needed to, the silver plated contacts here, just take those screws off. That comes off, and you put the other one back on there. If for some reason you needed to get to that switch spring, then you take all four of these out, along with, of course, those two. So, and what they've done a little different than the Stormbreaker and Hammer of God didn't have to begin with is very deep instead of very small little catches. They're very deep. So this works really well with, trying to take it off the bottom without batteries. Sometimes with the Stormbreaker and like Hammer of God before they went to this was kind of a pain. And at the bottom here, which, so as you see down there, this is where it denotes. So positive in there, negative in there, because this is a series mod, of course. So you, of course, want to build appropriately as well in there. And of course, down in there, you'll have the multiple screws to take out to get the top off as well. You got the 5 screws in there. It looks like one in each corner. And of course, one right in the middle, all Phillips head, and that'll take the top off to get to the switch, and if you need to get into the contact at all. Take and throw. I have a series build on the Asgard 30 millimeter, and this will show you what it looks like with pretty much the max size you're going to get on there. So there you go, 30 millimeter, pretty much right flush and to the edge there. So still look good with a 24. The Nightmare 28 looks pretty awesome, but definitely nothing over 30. All right, but that is it. Let's go up top and we'll talk about it.
All right, we are back up with the Saga. So, liking a dive down, very simple, but it's just a very clean series. So before with a box series, I used to use. It's now covered up because of the logo. Gotta fix that sometime soon. But I used to use a Cthulhu Death Wish box. Only 2700, so I wasn't getting the raw 30T power of 21700. One of the big things why this is going to be a very good mech for a lot of people is the size and the fit in the hand. It's super comfortable. So, And just look at that dual 21700 versus like the Death Wish Cthulhu box. I mean, it's like twice the size. And this guy was only up to a dual 2700. So, and non-centered 510, not a bad box at all. But this is basically the improvement. But let's, before we get into the, I guess, pros and cons, sorry, I just jumped right into that. Let's go over some specs. So specs, you know, it is an anodized aluminum, full aluminum mod, dual 21700, fully silver plated contacts in the internals, max voltage of 8.4 volts, manually adjustable 510. The threading is all stainless steel, and of course can go up to a 30 millimeter RDA with no overhang whatsoever. It's close enough though that of course anything over 30 is going to overhang, and that button is pretty close to the top there that you probably wouldn't want to do over 30 because it might interfere with how you fire it. Same Delrin fire button as like the Hammer of God series. Same as the Stormbreaker, except for the Stormbreaker is a more of a rectangle or square, where the Hammer of Gods are all little circles. Same thing with that. So, but with the specs kind of out of the way, one thing I did want to touch on is max voltage of 8.4. Just so you know, if you're newer to series or parallel, well, mostly series, you got to remember with any mech mod, single tube, mechs, single battery, dual battery, quad battery, when you're actually doing the figuring, and a really good person to watch on this, and he talks about it a lot too, is Bogan in South Australia, the Vaping Bogan. Everybody should know him. You're not going to get a true, because what they're saying is a max of 8.4 volts is they're saying that each one of those 30 Ts or whatever 21700 you use is going to give you 4.2 volts. With voltage drop and all of that, and the connection and all that, you're realistically, I always figure on 3.7. And that's also, I'm pretty sure that's where Bogan usually tells people about 3.7. That'll help on your calculations with your Ohm's laws a little bit better too. So max of 8.4, but not getting quite 8.4. You're getting more of, you know, this 7.6 range. Lots of pros to it. Very small for what it is. I mean, it's literally barely bigger than both those batteries put together. So it's very small, great in the hand. I mean, literally the only thing that could have probably made this thing more comfortable is some kind of like trigger fire. I mean, come on, that's not happening. That would be a huge pain in the ass. So it's really handy. What I've noticed when I'm holding it, I hold it like this, but when I go to fire, I do twist it a little bit and get it more straight on. But it is small and compact enough that it's just super simple to do that. It's not big, it's not awkward. You know, and I love my Stormbreaker, but I know there's an extra battery in there, but this is even more comfortable than that. And I know there's some people out there who didn't like how you hold the Stormbreaker, but even the Hammer of Gods, those are very comfortable. The new stab wood is just great in the hand. But even this, because it's only 2 instead of 4, it does. It fits a lot better in the hand. So lots of pros there. The upgraded switch on that door, because they're deeper ridges now, definitely a pro. You got your venting. The button, I mean, it's super responsive. It works really well. Yeah, I don't think I've said it works really well about 50 times. But on the con section, oh man. Now, I could normally say that aesthetic-wise, they only come black and then the war-torn graphite or gunmetal. But VaperzCloud just released limited edition ones at the Vapor Expo. So there's like red with splatter, there's green with splatter, and then there's solid other colors too. I can't even remember all of the different colors off the top of my head. So you can't even use that as a con. If it's up to a 30 millimeter, that's definitely not a con. Yeah. I'm going to officially say I have no cons. Okay, maybe one other. If you're not used to it, or if you don't like it, the 510 being a manual adjustment instead of a spring-loaded 510, I guess that's a con. But you get used to that. So, Yeah, there. I gave you a con. How dare you not have a spring-loaded 510? Why do I gotta adjust it? Sorry, just kidding, Brad. Just kidding. Anyways, yeah. So, show you how vapes here real quick. It's pretty darn hot, and also give you a real quick thought on the lobotomy here. Man, yeah, just works. It's a true, comfortable, aesthetically pleasing workhorse. That's all there is to it. It's just simple, great series power. That's all there is. Throw some 30Ts in there. Make sure your builds 3.5 to 4.5. This one is pretty much right spot on at 3.5. Yeah, so in the Valhalla, I think it's closer to 4. So it just depends on how hot of a vape. At 3.5, it's pretty darn warm. I don't hold that button for too long. But with the lobotomy, if you want to check it out, it is available at Darkstar's website. And like I said, it's not even fully matured yet, but you're getting that nice, just tangy, not sour lemon, like a lemon hard candy almost. But just in the last 2 days that I've been kind of vaping on it, that lemon hard candy is really mellowing out, and you're getting that nice, fizzy, creamy sherbet. It's awesome. When it gets to its full week, it's going to be literally like you are just eating spoonfuls of lemon sherbet. You can even probably add some culotta or WS-23, like a cooling agent, to even give you almost that cold sherbet effect. I won't, because I like the way it is. I can eat warm sherbet. It's fine. But that is all I got today for the Saga mod. If you have any cons of the Saga, either by my review itself or if you own one and you have a con, throw it in the comments. I try to respond to every single comment every single time. So definitely comment on there. Tell me what you think. I want to know your thoughts on that. That'd be great. But again, I want to thank VaperzCloud for sending me this for the purpose of the review. And that is all I got today for the Saga. I want to thank each and every one of you yet again for coming to Vape with a Viking. And I'll check you later.